This is Firecrackers, and we're about to talk about the political crisis going on in River State. Also, we have joining us live from Lagos. We have Professor Sam Erugo, is a senior advocate of Nigeria. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us on the program. All right, so I'm going to be starting with Dr. Pierce in the studio. Could you give us a backstory? Because, well, everyone seems to be pointing a finger either at the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike or the sitting governor of Rivers State, that is Siminalayi Fubara. Do you mind painting us a picture of what is actually going on in Rivers State right now?
Whenever there is a conflict and there is problems between people, it is essential to look at where it all began. And I think that to any reasonable person, it's obvious that the governor could not have started the trouble. What I believe happened was that Wike, in the usual style of political grandfathers in Nigeria, claimed that the words he used is enough to tell you what's going on. That I made him. He's my boy. I put him there. I gave him, he got him elected. That's where the problem is. He believes he owns Fubara. He believes that the structure that got Fubara in belongs to him. And the point is, nobody really owns anybody. As a leader in Rivers State, he helped Fubara to win the election. He helped him. But it was the people who voted Fubara to be their governor. So that is where, that overbearing attitude is where the problem started. But another detail that contributed to the beginning of the conflict is what we heard, that Governor Wike said he wanted to know. Look, Fubara began by saying he believed that the resources of the state was about 100 million naira or billion naira, but when he looked at the books, all he saw was 60 billion. So he was asking questions of the financial people and so on, and they told him that's what they have. He said, no, you must explain this to me. How did he just deplete from 100 to 60? And I understand that this was reported to Governor Wike, who told them, tell that man not to be looking to what does not concern him. Now, the governor took offense and said, look, I'm the governor now, I have to find out what is going on, I have to know what I have to work with. So the bottom line is Governor Wike, former Governor Wike, trying to control and to continue to hold on to what he called his structure, his leadership of River State GDP.
Yeah, that is not nice because we have cabinet members, we have the State House of Assembly lawmakers, they resigning, 27 of them leaving, and then that even as the speaker. And then now we are having faction, we have the faction speaker for one that is one for Fubara, and then we have the one for Wike. Okay, let me even ask this. How is PDP trying to manage this crisis going on in River State?
In the first place, you talk about the problem. How did it all start? The members of the assembly, I understand they are not 25 that you came back and so on. But also, I understand that 11 commissioners have also resigned also.
Yes.
So the crisis is because there appear to be two governors now in River State. The former governor is not letting go of his control. And until he does that, there will always be problems. The commissioners that are loyal to Governor Wike are the ones that are leaving the party to go and join Wike wherever he wants to be. The commissioners are all the same. In other words, there are people that he has put in place. And that's the problem. the assembly leader was, the first one was his person, the spokesman, and he was just repeating everything that the former governor wanted, and basically telling the governor of Fubara that, look, we just put you there as a figurehead. I have got instruction to tell you what to do. And Fubara reacted. It's only normal. And that is where the problem is. And what the PDP can do is to respond to what is going on. And the National Publicity Secretary of the PDP issued a statement immediately. These 25 people resigned. He said, according to the law, according to the Constitution, Section 109, subsection 1G, if you willingly leave your party to go to another party, your position becomes vacant. So therefore, the party PDP has written to INEC, and as INEC to do the rightful thing, which is to basically advertise the position that have new elections to fill the position that these people have vacated. Now, they have a problem. They don't know what to do. It's not good for PDP, but it's worse for these individuals who have left the party. They don't have a party now. But if they go to APC, we are hearing that the state APC, River State said they don't recognize them yet, they don't know them. And believe me, it's going to be a problem because Governor Wike cannot just, these are the people that he called horrible names and did horrible things during the campaign as PDP leader. So now, all these commissioners too, and all these assembly people who now want to go back to APC, they're the ones that called the APC the cancer party that has cancer. So now, they're going back there. So let's see what happens. But the PDP is starting on, from what I've seen from the publication of the National Publicity Secretary, that the PDP is saying we are going to have new elections according to the law. That's where we stand.
Okay, all right. And whenever any arm of government is in dispute, we always turn to the judiciary to help us make sense of what is going on. So I would like to call on Professor Sam Erugo, who is a senior advocate of Nigeria, to perhaps give us some insight from the judicial point of view on the conflicts going on in Rivers State right now, because we have everything seems to be tumultuous, although we do hope that some sort of sanity is going to return soon. But on this issue of PDP saying that INEC must conduct another election, what do you think about that?
The situation in Rivers State is one that every Nigerian must watch. Looks like that's the height of impunity. It's like everybody doing it the way he likes. But I want to come from the perspective of what the judiciary can do. You know, in every situation, people keep talking about the judiciary, but the judiciary can only act based on issues before it. Yes, PDP is right in saying they need to conduct elections. But what's the basis of calling the INEC to conduct election? In the first place, you have to declare the seats vacant. I agree with them that Section 68, basically Section 68 1G of the 1999 Constitution, provides in situations like this, where members elected on one platform decides to jump ship to defects. The natural thing would be for them to vacate the seats, because the election was conducted, sponsored. They were sponsored by another party, in this case the PDP. They cannot defect from the PDP to APC and retain the seats. But who has the right to declare their seats vacant? That's the issue now. If you ask me, it's for the court to declare those seats vacant. It's not for anybody to do that. Otherwise, we'll be calling for anarchy in Rivers State, which is exactly what we are seeing now. So I expect that somebody should file an action. PDP should quickly proceed to courts to get the court pronounced that those seats are vacant. I'm sure it's only on that basis that INEC can conduct another election. There are precedents on this. If we think back, just last year, the Supreme Court had to decide on the Ondo issue, where Ifedayo Abegunde of the Labour Party had defected to then Action Congress. That was in 2011, but by last year, the Supreme Court had to take a decision on that, saying that by decamping, Abegunde had lost his seat. I know that last year, too, the issue of cross-river members of the House of Assembly was also decided. Elder Justice Taiwo of the Federal High Court in Abuja agreed with the Supreme Court that in situations like that, the 20 members of the Cross River House of Assembly members who defected from the PDP to APC automatically lost their seat. So that's the situation as we speak. That somebody has to activate the judicial process. I think PDP should proceed to court to get those pronouncements. They can't sit down in Port Harcourt and declare those seats vacant. That's my position.
All right, definitely. Thank you so much for that. And what are your thoughts on this whole crisis going on in Rivers State, especially when it has to do with godfatherism, one person trying to dictate, well, allegedly trying to dictate for a sitting governor or whichever position that we might have?
Well, that's the impunity I'm talking about. It's like we are moving back to the job where somebody will want to dictate for the whole state the way the state should be run. That's my impression of that place. And you see members of the House of Assembly who ordinarily should hear a check on that situation. They appear not to be there. So I even agree with those who think that those members have lost their seats because they are no longer worthy to sit in the House, because ordinarily they should have been the ones supporting the governor. It's not governor need not do it the way you like, but he has been elected, and it's only fair that you allow him to do his job for 4 years to conduct another election. Incidentally, the matter is still at the Supreme Court. That's the funny side of the situation in Rivers State. The final decision on that election is still pending at the Supreme Court as we speak.
All right, thank you for that. And now to Dr. Pierce. There's this saying that you should not bite the ants that feed you. Do you think that perhaps this saying might also be linked to what is going on in Rivers State?
Well, that is what the former Governor Wike will say. But again, I put it in the perspective of democratic electoral system. You are not the hand that fed him. You are the hand that brought him food. But he fed himself. And you got the food that you brought him from the people. So you don't own him. But the idea that the hand that fed you, you owe him, you don't owe him. You owe him political loyalty, which is to deliver for the state. So what Wike is telling us now, if indeed is the one that is trying to impose his authority on is that I didn't support you to govern and to help Rivers State develop. I supported you in order for you to serve my interest. That is what the government is saying, Wike is saying. And the tension now in Rivers State has been heightened by the issue of ethnicity. Since the current political dispensation, 1999 to now, all the governors of Rivers State have been equated. Dr. I keep forgetting the name. After him, Rotimi Amici. After that, Wike himself. That is 24 years. This is the first time that and the Ijaw man is going to get the position. So the Ijaw people, they took over and said that there will be war if you try to impeach this man or you try to get rid of this guy. So the situation is very sensitive, and one has to be very careful. But I've got a point that the lawyer made about going to court. A lot of this still has to go to court. Our the PDP National Publicity Secretary is a lawyer, and the PDP has a National Legal Secretary. So I am sure that they know what to do. And if they haven't done it from this interview, I myself will send a link to this and say, look, oh, this is what lawyers are advising us to do, so that it will be handled properly. Look, and all those people who have defected, the barrister has said it, they have really lost their seat for now. Maybe after appeal they can get it back, but let us see what happens.
Okay, and for the people who resigned or defected, they are saying, okay, if we are to go by they are saying that it is for personal reasons. That is the reason that they are either defecting or they are resigning. Now, if, let's take for instance now, they have not stated this personal reason they are resigning, but then what we do know is that they've left. If they decide to come back, would the party perhaps still be welcoming, still open their hands to them and take them back?
I don't know. I have no answer to such a question. And I don't know what the law says. I guess that will all be dependent on how the governor and his advisors and the people in general see the situation in Rivers State. But it looks very suspicious. It seems that they too, like the former governor, Wike, have decided to satisfy their own personal interests than the interests of the people that voted for them to represent them. Notice that these 25 people who left and the commissioners who left, well, the commissioners were appointed by the governor, you know. So if they left, that's their business with the governor. But these 25 assemblymen and women were elected by the people to serve them. And you, these 25, you went to the people to beg for their support, to promise them that you represent this district. And now you abandon ship without consultation with your people. You did not go to your people to say, look, what's going on now is this, that, based on that, I'm going to leave this party, I'm going to leave my job. But they left their job without consulting the people. So I think they have brought on more problems than they're going to be able to handle.
Oh, definitely. And now to Professor Hugo, there was a court order that mandated that the State House of Assembly lawmakers, they should listen to Siminalayi Fubara. And now that we have it split into two, some loyal to Wike, allegedly loyal to Wike, and then the others loyal to Fubara. And when Fubara was presenting his budget for 2024, he presented it to the 5 members that were loyal to him. So which one is going to be recognized now from the point of view of the law? Is it the ones of the 25 who left, or the remaining 5 who he presented the budget to?
Yeah, there are 2 perspectives to that issue. The first is that we had earlier argued that the 25 that defected, they've lost their position as members of the House. By their own statement is published. Just like I earlier mentioned that similar decisions have been taken by the Supreme Court, and that's the position, even though that was on a member of the Federal House of Assembly. But I also referred to the case of the Cross River members of the State House of Assembly. And Taiwo came to the same decision based on Section 109 of the Constitution, which applies basically to members of the State House of Assembly. So as far as the law is concerned, those ones that have defected, they've lost their seat. That is one. The second perspective is the fact that I think a day before the presentation by the governor to the five, there was a court decision which recognized the five as the members of the State House of Assembly. So the governor is right in presenting before them, because as the law stands, they are the members of the House of Assembly that should be recognized by the state governor. Mind you that the law remains that once there's a court decision, a judgment of court, until it is set aside, it remains valid. So that decision of the High Court of Rivers State declaring the five as the authentic members of the House of Assembly remains in force until it is set aside by a Court of Appeal.
All right, thank you very much for that.